Okay. All right. So for those of you new, thank you so much for joining. My name is Josh Wise. I'm the VP of Customer Success here at rezStream. My responsibility is to make sure that we're taking good care of our customers and to try and help make sure that you guys are utilizing our products and services to their maximum potential as it relates to your business. So the purpose of this monthly webinar, usability webinar, is to share with you the cloud reservation software, the new releases that come out, the experiences that other people are having with the product, and feedback to hopefully make sure that you can maximize the use of it and make sure that you're getting your monthly, your money's worth month after month, year after year. So that's a kind of high-level overview of the intro. So let's jump into the product here, and I'll do my best to keep it to 30 minutes or less here. I understand you guys are all very, very busy, so I want to make sure that I am absolutely respecting that. Okay, within the reservation software, you can see my screen here in the upper right-hand corner. For those of you that aren't familiar, hopefully all of you are. You'll see this little bell icon, and within this bell icon, this is where we talk about our larger releases under the new features. This is where we post all of our cloud updates for the latest releases and all the work that goes into that release. And then if you miss a webinar or have to leave early, you can always go and watch a recording of that webinar to make sure that you're staying in the know and that education and that feedback is constantly there. So I want to talk a little bit about this recent release that we came out here within the last couple of weeks. The big portion of that release is updating the ADA as it relates to features on the online booking engine. So for those of you unfamiliar, ADA stands for American Disabilities Act. And basically what this is a law to ensure that those with disabilities, whether it be sight or hearing impairment or anything along those lines, can still engage with your online booking engine at the same level in which some without those disabilities can. And so this act or this law is a really, really good thing that's put in place to help those with disabilities. Now, I've been here 11 years, and I've been dealing with ADA compliance regulations for about 9-10 of those years. And when I first started seeing it pop up early on here at rezStream, it was pretty much isolated to the state of California. And what I mean by that is there were, in essence, lawyers who were what I call doing drive-by lawsuits to lodging properties. So someone ran across the case, and someone won that case, and then someone started taking advantage of it and started with the same plaintiff and the same lawyer going to various different lodging properties online and basically doing what we call drive-by lawsuits and in essence saying, hey, your website isn't compliant with ADA standards, my client can't use your website, give me $10,000 or I'm taking you to court. And so these lodging properties were basically being extorted this money. That's kind of how people have referred to it to me. So what we've tried to do is both with our website solutions and now our online booking engine is tried to adhere to the ADA compliance based on the various different regulations put in place there. So that's the purpose of what it is that we did here. So let me kind of show you a little bit and show you what this means as it relates to the booking engine solution. You can read all about this here, guys, if you have not, and then I'll show you a couple things today, okay? So I'm going to jump over to my online booking engine. So a couple things to make note of here. This is my demo property, so it may not be ideal, perfect, or what have you, but nonetheless, you get the idea. In the bottom left-hand corner of every single booking engine that rezStream provides, so hundreds and hundreds of these, we have this new accessibility menu. So this particular widget, as we call it, is a tool that allows those with disabilities to be able to engage while utilizing your booking engine. So you'll notice they'll be able to navigate with their keyboard or make their cursor larger or have bigger text and font, highlight links, stop animations, read the page out loud for you, change the contrast of the page so those with vision disabilities that can only see certain contrasts can see and interact with this better. So by installing this widget on the booking engine pages, it now allows those with disabilities to interact with this booking engine just like everyone else would be able to. Now, something to point out, this icon does not interfere with those without disabilities and their experience and utilizing this booking engine in any way. The only way that this thing comes up is if you actually click on it, and those without disabilities have no purpose or need to click on it, right? And so it's easy to pop up the menu or close down the menu, so that is not intrusive at all. We wanted to make sure that this enhancement to prevent these drive-by lawsuits and to enhance the experience of those with disabilities did not interfere with anyone else without disabilities that didn't need to use it. Okay, so that's a big point of emphasis to make sure that I point out to you guys. Now, the other thing that you'll notice here is we have this little filter over here. So if your booking engine looks like this in any way, let us know and we'll come back and we'll clean this up. So they need to clean mine up because that looks like crap. But nonetheless, the point here is that when you move on and you enter your dates, if you are someone with disabilities that needs an accommodation that can support you, whether it be on the main floor because you're in a wheelchair or what have you, has special bathroom access or seating in the bathroom, what have you, you can now toggle this filter on, and the search results at the next step are going to show you all those units with that are ADA compliant. Okay. Now, I don't specifically have any, so I want to show this to you 2 times. So I'm just going to select dates the 28th through the 30th. I'm going to go next here, and it's going to give you the standard return of my units, right? Because these are all the units that have availability, but you'll notice here there is none that specify ADA compliance because I haven't selected that option. Well, I don't have any units because I haven't turned it on yet, so I want to show you what that process looks like. So I'm going to go back to the reservation software, and let's say I do have ADA compliant units and I do have units for those people, and now I need to let the system know, hey, these are the units that are ADA compliant, right? So I'll need to navigate to the configuration portion of the application, and I'm going to come down into the units. And when I actually jump into a unit now, you'll now see this toggle option here. And so by default, everything is turned off because obviously rezStream doesn't know if you have ADA units, and if you do, which ones they are. So everything's defaulted to off, and all you need to do here is turn it on and save that unit, and now the system will update and it knows it. So now I've got the vineyard in there, and then I'm also going to do the broken arrow here just so I have a couple examples. So I'm also going to turn that on and save that unit, okay? Now I'm going to jump back to the booking engine, and I'm going to start this selection over. Let me refresh this, make sure it takes those changes. And now this time, I'm going to select ADA accessible units when I do my search of the 28th through the 30th, and I hit next here. And so what I should see, oh, it's not working, yay. Well, that doesn't help you with showing it very well, so let me start over here, see what happened. Maybe it got caught in a refresh with the server syncing. Let me just close it down, come in here, start over again. Dun, 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 come on, baby. Hopefully I didn't break it by doing something to try and show you guys. Eek. Or hopefully the internet didn't go down. Sheesh. Okay, here we go. All right, starting all over again. Let's try this again. Click the ADA filter, hit the next button to search for dates. Don't let us down, baby. Here we go. Okay, so as we progress, so something must have happened with the syncing and the updating and saving and the refreshing. So if you guys shouldn't experience that, but if you do, you'll know that I just refreshed it and gave it a second to get caught up here. So as I have selected my filter and searched on my dates, I'm now seeing all units with availability, just like a normal booking engine would be expected to be utilized and what you guys are used to. And then now you'll notice here, I've got an icon, and if you recall, I turned this on for both the Vineyard and the Broken Arrow, and it is now bringing those ADA filters or those accessible rooms to the top of the list, because that is what the guest or the visitor said that they are interested in filtering and searching for. And then down below, we have other rooms that partially match the search, but these are the units that have availability but aren't ADA compliant. So if for whatever reason someone with an ADA handicap still wanted to pick another unit, they still have that option to do so, and they can toggle this drop down open and select those rooms, but it'll let me know, hey, just so you know, you picked this filter over here, but this particular room does not have any ADA accessibility. So we tried to make that messaging very clear for the user and still give people options, okay? So I now have these 2 rooms here, and I have the ability to select those rooms because they meet my criteria, they meet my filter that I want. So I'm just gonna pick a room here, and I'm gonna move on because I wanna show you what happens within the software. So I'm not gonna add anything here. So I'm gonna move right along to the final step here, and I'm gonna enter some information, and a fake card, fake expiration, fake security code, there's my name, blah, 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 I'm arriving at 8 p.m., thank you very much, yes, I agree to all your terms and conditions, and I'm gonna book. So as it's going through this process of booking this reservation, what's happening here is the system is all updating itself, right, just like you guys experience, and then it's going to download that online reservation into the reservation software, okay? So here's my confirmation, number, email, what unit I got, and now you'll notice here in these booking details, we are also slapping this icon on here just as a reference point to these people, to everyone. Hey, you have selected an ADA room and it is ADA accessible, and if I hover over it, it also tells me that as well, okay? So there's that side. Now, let me jump back into the reservation software and head back to my dashboard here. And I want to show you a couple things that we do throughout this process, okay? So the first thing is that I now have a new reservation, and here is this reservation in my name, and you'll notice I now have an icon on the Vineyard because I've told the system that this is an ADA room. And you'll also notice here that there is a message here specifically letting you at the property know that this guest has requested an ADA accessible room, okay? Which means that, just like you saw me, the guest on your booking engine selected that ADA filter search and chose an ADA room, okay? So we're passing this information down to you guys to let you know, so that way as some of you are playing Tetris and moving reservations around, maybe you have unit types, just make sure that you are aware that this particular guest does in fact need an ADA accessible room and has requested that, okay? So that is the information that we're showing you, and that is the process of what it's gonna look like both on the front end to the guest and on the back end to you guys, okay? Now, if I jump into that particular room here, you're gonna have all the standard information, right? Everything that you're used to. And then you're also going to have another reminder here, just in case you're not on the dashboard, maybe you're on a different page within this application or in a different section. If you make your way into this reservation, again, we're going to indicate this is an ADA accessible room and this guest specifically requested an accessible unit, okay? So we're trying to inform you in multiple different areas so that way that information and that guest preferences is not getting lost along the way. Now, one last thing that I'd like to show you here is if I jump down into the occupancy map, you'll also notice now we have now slapped an icon on here and put within that verbiage that it is ADA accessible, okay? So we want this information to be present and aware. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, I'm the owner, I know which dang units are ADA accessible, you don't need to slap it everywhere in my face. Well, yes, understood, but there are properties out there that have innkeepers or they have different front desk staff, and in small businesses we all experience turnover. So this is just another way to inform those people and remind those people that aren't intimately familiar with the property or the business or haven't been there for years and years and years that they know that those are the accessible rooms. All right, so hopefully all that stuff makes sense, and you guys have seen both what it looks like from the interface page here within the booking engine. And let me just go back here. I want to re-show you that one more time here, just so you guys are familiar. So on your booking engine now, this is a standard default. This is here. This is standard default. Now, something that I did not cover. Well, hey, Josh, I don't have 88 rooms. I don't want to offer 88 rooms. Maybe I'm a historic building and the city, state told me I don't need to worry about this, so I don't want this crap in my guest's face. That's absolutely fine. Not a big deal. We can basically hide this and we can hide this. So that way no one can engage with it or access it. So if you fall in that boat and you don't need to or don't want to have anything to do with it, by all means reach out to us, reach out to the support team, let them know. We'll send it over to design and we'll hide those things for you. But again, the whole purpose here is to do two things. One, help you have a tool that is more convenient for those people with disabilities to engage, interact, utilize, and make that buying journey, make that online reservation without having to pick up the phone and call you. Okay. We also have an accessibility statement here that links to a specific page on our website that gives those people with disabilities feedback like, hey, here's what we've done. We care about this. If you have any issues, reach out to the property directly. And again, we have the filter here, and we saw that when we navigate to the next step, those particular units are right there in our face and they're preferred at the top of the list, but we have not omitted the ability for people to get other rooms if they chose to do so. And then lastly here, what we saw both on the dashboard and the occupancy map is we're indicating what units are accessible. We're on the reservations themselves, we're indicating the guest preference, and then actually on the reservation detail page, we're letting you guys know, so that way this information is not lost. So as you're moving reservations around, playing Tetris on the occupancy map, that preferred information is not lost, okay? And then as a recap, guys, where you actually go in to set these up is within the configuration, within units here. You log into any of these rooms and you're going to see that toggle preference, and after you change it, just make sure that you save it in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so that concludes today's session, guys. Short and sweet, but I wanted to definitely show you specifically the latest release, what it was, the purpose behind it, the intent behind it, the value it has to you, and then most importantly, how to go through and turn all that stuff on and handle that. So I've got a little video, a little GIF here as they call it, that kind of walks you through a video recording. Hopefully you guys can see that. And if not, there is also a article on our knowledge base as well for you. So hopefully that was valuable, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. And as usual here, if you are missing something or you need something or you think something should work a different way, I want to hear that feedback. So please, please, please shoot me an email directly or give me a call. That's my direct line here. So the more feedback, the better. You know, we don't use the reservation software every day like you guys do, so we absolutely rely on your feedback on how to make this reservation the absolute best that it can possibly be. So thank you so much for your time and your feedback, and I'll let you guys get back to your very busy days, and I hope to hear from all of you at some point in the future. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.